Welcome, you guys. Today, I'm going to mute you real quick because I forgot to do that. There we go. I don't really do themes for the flow practice. However, something I want you to consider is expression. I know that when I was younger, I hated my red hair. Um, because it was so different and it was just a different coloring palette than everybody else around me. And I got teased a lot for it. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I finally started to appreciate um, my gene expression. And so we have different ways we can express ourselves on the mat. And when you hear a teacher say, take the full expression of the pose, sometimes we think about, yoga models or the perfect pose or the most advanced form of the pose, but that's not what teachers mean when they say full expression. So I just wanted to clarify that before we get started. The full expression is your personal, individual expression. So there's a few things you have to take into consideration. One is the energy level, that you're at that day, not pushing or depleting yourself energetically. We should always pay attention, to the strength and flexibility at any given moment so that we're not going past our edge or pushing ourselves to even do what we were doing yesterday. Um, Obviously, alignment, checking in to make sure we're aligned properly in poses and that we're honoring the body. But the most important thing as well, when you are being expressive in a pose, is to make sure that the breath is circulating really well and optimally. And the key is when we start to get so immersed in the breath and so present in the moment and really aligned and truly honoring what we can do on that day, um, then that means we are taking the full expression, even if it's a modified position. So I just wanted to clarify that because the flow class that you're about to do is the most rigorous class that I have on the schedule. And there's days where you feel like, hey, I got this, and there's other days where you may feel like I need child's pose. So give yourself permission to do that, and we'll get started. So let's find a comfortable seat. And just roll the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale down and back. And just consider for a moment as you reflect on this theme, how you typically express yourself in poses. Is that similar or different than how you express yourself in life? Now, facial expressions can sometimes even give that away. So for now, let's see if we can create more of a neutral expression on the face. Softening the forehead, the skin around the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, the lips. And then notice what's being expressed in your breath. Are you emphasizing more of the inhale or the exhale? Can you find a cadence for both? Not shortening or sacrificing one for the other. After taking a few deep breaths, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. prayer position at your heart, making this commitment and intention to express yourself at an individual and personalized level through this practice. Remembering it's not the way the pose looks. It's not that we need to be the most advanced, but practicing in a way that's going to improve the health and healing of the body and mind. Now flutter the eyelids open. We're going to come up to stand. So go ahead and come stand at the top of your mat. We get right into the flow series with sun salutations. So ground your feet, spreading the base of the feet so you have a nice strong foundation for Tadasana. And then bring that energization up through the legs, into the belly as you open up your heart. And then go ahead and place your hands together. This is sometimes called the salutation seal. Seal your intention. And then inhale, bring the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips as you close in towards your lower body. Inhale, coming halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. And then as you exhale, we step it down the mat to plank, and you can always drop your knees and do a half chaturanga if you don't feel compelled to do the full chaturanga. Once you rise into your heart opening pose, we roll back over the toes to downward facing dog. Planting the hands, stretching up and out of your arms. Rolling your thighs in, powering them back. Just letting your head naturally drape down. Take a couple more deep breaths. On your next inhale, you can walk. You can lunge, you can float, both feet together to the top of the mat, lifting halfway, and exhale, lower back down and in. On your next inhale, press down through the feet, sweep the arms up alongside the face, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, Samastitihi. We're going to go again. Inhale. Arms circle wide and overhead. Exhale, swan dive down to Uttanasana. Inhale, you can always slide your hands up your legs if it's too much to keep the hands to the floor. Exhale, roll back down. Take the feet back into your plank. Determine whether or not you want to keep the knees up or down as you drop and hover. Inhale, rise to Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, rock and roll back to Adho Mukha. Holding your downward facing dog. Try to open up more space in the pits of the arms, more space behind the knees. And the inverted quality of the pose will naturally help to open up and create space in the mind. On your next inhale, step, lunge, or float to Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, lower back in. Inhale is going to build you all the way up. And exhale, hands come down the midline to the heart. We're going to do another A. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open up halfway. Exhale, we're taking it back and lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale to the stilts of the arms. And exhale, roll it on back. Holding and breathing in down dog. Finding the alignment with your body. Fueling more energy to you with breath. And ensuring that the breath has easy circulation. And that your mind stays focused. Inhale, however you want to arrive to the top of the mat. Exhale, lower belly, chest, face. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to hearts. They usually do 5 of these. We're just gonna limit it to 4 today. Inhale, arms open up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, create some space between the 2 halves. And then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to up dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always available. There are days and times where we need to give ourselves permission to break. Remember, we don't want the pose to be all effort. We want the blend of effort and ease. Next, inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, pour back over and down. Inhale, give yourself a lift. And exhale, hands come down to prayer. We move into beast, so you're not as far as next. And we're only doing 3. We're not going to do 5 today because I have some hip openers planned. We're going to sink the hips and really lift through the side body. Exhale, pour down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhaling to Chaturanga. Remember, you can always dip the knees down. Continue through that Vinyasa flow. But once you return to down dog, we step the right foot forward. We lower and anchor the back foot and come up to warrior 1. Checking your foundation. Moving up from there. Chin parallel to the earth, looking straight ahead. Exhale, we release. Step it back and drop and hover. Inhaling up. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Left foot's gonna step through. Back heel's gonna lower. Inhale, coming up, warrior 1. Equanimity in the side body. Exhale, release. Step it back. Crank it down. Build it up. Roll it back. Now hold and breathe. Try to completely fill up your lungs as you breathe in. Exhaust them as you breathe out. Inhale, walk, lunge, or float all the way up, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhaling, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, Samasthiti. 2 more of those. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, tip forward over straight legs. Build the strength in your quads, even though the stretch is in the hamstrings. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, four limb staff pose. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Inhale, right foot steps through, back foot sinks. Inhale, warrior one. Remember, our focus today is about expression. Individual, personalized expression. Release the hands. When you're ready, take that vinyasa flow. And the left foot comes through next. Take your time. Warrior one. True Ashtanga goes way faster than this. And this is already sped up for blissful. Exhale, hands down. Last vinyasa for this set. But then we pause in the third downward facing dog. Recollect your breath. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, flow down. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, hands to hearts. All right, just one more of those. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over straight legs. In halfway up. Out. Sink and hover. Inhale, build back up. Exhale, roll it back. Stationed on the hands and feet. And the pinnacle of the pose being your sits bones. Relax your teeth. You may feel a little heavier in your cheeks. They say anytime we're upside down, it's like a natural facelift. Let's stay here one more breath. Inhale, plant the feet at the top. Open the heart. Look out with your eyes. And exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, you hop the feet apart. Draw the shoulders back. Really lift your chest. You can even hang your head back if that's okay for your neck. And then exhale, we take this hinge from that hip crease. We loop the first two fingers around each big toe. And then we drive the heart lower. We fan the arms away from the knees. Some people like to even slightly tuck the chin of the chest. I'm not going to do that because that's not good for my neck, but it may be great for yours. And this is how we personalize our practice. Unique individual expression. Inhale, lift halfway. And then we flip the palms open and set the hands right up underneath the feet. The toes come to the crease of the wrist. And make sure you weight bear down on your hands. we'll remove the hands one at a time, stack them back to the waist, and draw up. All right. So I'm standing at the top of the mat. We're going to step to the side. And once we have the legs really splayed nice and open, the right foot will turn 90 degrees. And I know I'm not near you, but I'm using my right too. And lengthen out over the front leg. Windmill down to Trikonasana, your triangle pose. And if you find that you're creating a little cat stretch through your side body, just think about dropping the ribs and lengthening the underside of your ribs. Keep rooting your feet down. And notice the effect it has not just on your legs when you do that, but even in your core. Inhale, drive up. Turn that right foot in, turn that left foot out. Press back into your hips and release down to triangle pose. So I was telling some students the other day that, you know, as I'm going through perimenopause, it's affecting my body differently and I'm having to approach poses differently. You know, when I was younger, I used to be able to really lower my hand all the way down to my foot. Now, it's just my shin. I'm okay with that. But pay attention to your body. Do what feels good and where you have that blend of effort and ease. Where you're aligned, you're physically active, but the breath is free flowing. And the focus is on point. Inhale, rise to the top. Relax your arms. And then just be cautious with your feet because the right foot's going to turn back out. And we need to hop the left foot over. Notice how I turn the foot in so that the hip can really roll to face that right foot as well. The left arm reaches ahead. And you can always stack it on your leg, but you also may have an opportunity to sink it to the floor. We typically take at least 5 breaths in these standing poses when we're doing this kind of style. All right, inhale, we'll draw up. And then just go ahead and turn your left foot, offset that right, tee the hips. Reach out with your right arm. Find where you're going to land the hand and what will give you some nice rotation through your spine. Let your exhale lower the left hand and let your inhale bring you back up. Okay. We need to separate the feet again and truly look down at them because sometimes when I'm teaching and I'm not paying attention, I'll find one foot's way ahead of the other. So take the time to get that set up properly. Right foot turns out to lunge the knee and then roll open through the hip. Set your forearm down. Take the left arm skyward or cross it over the ear. Glue the feet down. The traditional gaze is up to the left hand, which means you have to kind of pull the neck back and gaze that way. And this is great for my neck, so I'm going to do that. But it doesn't mean it's great for you. So personalize your expression. All right, inhale, draw up. Right foot turns, left foot rotates. And then when you're set, we'll take the second side of the pose. Make sure you roll open through your belly and chest. Right arm reaches up or over the ear. You can keep the neck neutral, or you can bring it back to gaze towards the right hand. Breathe. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate that left foot first, then the right foot next. All right, we're gonna come away from the heel for today, and we're gonna stack the left elbow to the outer edge of the right knee, palms together. And remember, your expression today can also mean sinking the back knee to the floor. Exhale, unwind. If the knee is down, this is where we pick it up. Plant the foot, and then we can prepare for that second side. Take your time. Swiveling around. Reverse that twist so that your belly's spinning towards the left thigh. And you can always drop the back knee. Exhale, unwind. Lift the back knee if it's down, plant the back foot if it was up. Bring your hands up, turn your feet square. Okay, some people like to go a little pigeon-toed, and that's fine too. We're gonna take the hands to the hips, roll the shoulders back. And then we're gonna fold, keeping that action in the shoulders. So notice where you tend to wanna lose it along the way. We all have that point somewhere. And then if you prefer the C variation, it's lacing the hands together and then straightening out the arms. So you can determine if you just want to stay in B or whether to transition from B to C. Two more breaths. Now, if you have your hands in that Venus Mudra, fingers interlaced, root down through your feet and draw up through your knuckles. If your hands are to your waist or hips, just draw it through the back of your heart. Good. Release. Might want to shake your wrist if you are doing that last one. All right, so the right foot's going to turn. The left foot's going to offset, very similar to what we did with reverse triangle, except we're going to take the arms behind the back and just cross them. Right arm below the left. Really lift your sternum. Take your head back just a notch. And then exhale, fold. Slightly teetering the upper body towards the right foot. Notice when we start to pour over, more weight is sinking into the front foot. So see if you can push back your left thigh and power down through that foot as well. Inhale, slowly rise. And we'll turn around the other way. Except we need to uncross and recross the arm. So now the left arm's on the bottom. Lift the head up. Exhale, forward fold. Root down through the big toes. Keep the shoulders level. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come up. All right, release your arms. My arms are sore today. Stack your ankles below the frontal part of your hips, because we're gonna do a standing balancing pose, okay? I'm gonna turn this way so I don't confuse you, because I'm gonna use my right leg like you are. We're gonna first stand on the left leg to catch the right knee with the right hand. Padangusthasana A. Find somewhere to gaze at with your eyes. Steady your focus. And then turn that knee to the side to open the hip. Bring that knee to the front. Slowly stack it to the left knee. Begin to come towards a chair balance. Dropping the hips to really dig into this piriformis and right hip. Inhale, stand up. Spread the base of your right foot. Correct your posture. Find your gaze point. Right hand to the hip. Shift your weight to that side. And hold and cup your left knee. Now this is the more modified way to do the pose. Padangusthasana B, where we open the hip. Bring it back in front, take your time. Setting the left ankle over the right knee. Sitting your hips down and back. Hands together. And inhaling up. Whew, my foot was getting a cramp. All right, we're gonna come back to the top of the mat. And we're gonna take just regular chair, or I'll give you another variation. Your expression though. Let's just take the easy expression of chair first. And I say easy, but sometimes, like today, my arms are sore. So to make it easier, right, hands to heart. Some people like to bring the spine like a little further up and gaze up towards the hands and draw the hands together, but that's not good for me today, so I'm gonna be here. Find your expression. Breathe. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Now this is where we either come to sit at the top of the mat. Some people like to slide through. And you can also bend the knees, cross the ankles, and sit down first. And then straighten the legs. So you can determine what's best. Flex the ankles, push down through your thighs, fly up with your arms, and exhale, forward fold. So remember, the hands don't have to catch the feet. This is still the pose, and this may be your perfect expression. Your perfect expression may be holding the feet, or even holding your heels and sinking lower. So even though I can do it, it's not feeling good in my low back, so I'm coming back up. Close your eyes. Open the eyes and inhale, rise back to Dandasana. Slide your right foot back. And then we'll open up from that knee. Chanushasana. Arms relift, leg and foot re-engages. Exhale, forward fold. Now, typically, when we do a forward fold with a single leg, sitting like this, we usually can go deeper than with both legs straight. So even though it didn't feel good for me to go lower with both legs straight, it actually feels perfectly fine and acceptable for me to go lower with one singular leg. So focus, breathe, and be expressive with your form based on the sensations and the feedback you're receiving. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Lift the right knee, slide that leg out. Bend your left knee, and then turn it open from the hip. Engage the right leg, right ankle. Arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Find your edge in this now moment. Something that will not increase or produce any pain. Catches. One of the things that yoga and meditation helps with is to reduce suffering. I had this teacher, when I first took over Half Moon, she was young, she was a brand new teacher, and she was a little spitfire. I called her a pixie because she had a pixie haircut, and she just had that light, airy nature, and she could do anything with her body. But she ended up, I don't even think she teaches anymore. I haven't seen her name or seen her face in years. And she quit teaching at Half Moon because she could not continue to drive to Franklin because her body was in so much pain. Her SI joints were always out. Her neck was always giving her trouble. And I think she just pushed herself way too hard and pushed her body way too hard. Inhale, let's come up to the top. And exhale, release the arms down. All right, since we're already in a fairly good position to go into Baddha Konasana, I want us to emphasize the hips a little bit today. So we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. We're gonna lift up through the crown of the head. And lots of times this is enough, okay? But if you feel like you want more, you crave more, you can't do more, then go ahead and fold. So this flow practice is based around Ashtanga yoga, which is where Vinyasa stems from. I like that Ashtanga uses the same flow typically, but since we're not calling it Ashtanga, we're calling it a flow, then I'm going to be mixing it up more like at the end, week to week. As you inhale, come back up to the top, slide your feet apart, and we're going to slide the hands up underneath the knees. And this may be your Karmasana, your tortoise. However, if you want to go into a second phase of lifting the toes and sliding the heels out, you can get a little bit more. Always coming back to remember your breath. And then gently bring the hands back in front of you. Slide your feet forward and out. Okay, I'm gonna scoot up. Kind of glance back on your mat. You may want to scoot forward and you may want to make sure there's nothing on either side. Sometimes we balance and hold the toes and then flip back. But instead of doing that today, we're just going to roll back. So from this position, Konasana, lean forward just to get that little stretch through the legs, but it also will give us some momentum when we're ready to roll back towards plow. And don't worry if the feet don't touch the floor. In fact, even though I usually can, I'm going to let the feet hover today because I'm trying to protect my neck from getting too much traction. Personalize this pose to work for you. Even if it means flat on your back and the legs laid in a V shape in the air. All right, when you draw the legs together, we're gonna roll out and crisscross the ankles. The hands are gonna come forward to help lift the buttocks so we can step back to plank. And then we're gonna shift forward, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, now typically in Ashtanga, they don't have pigeon or double pigeon poses, but that's what I just feel like doing today. So we're gonna lift the left leg. Exhale, we're gonna bring that shin to the front of the mat. And you can walk or slide the other leg back. And you can sink to forearms. You could scale down to the ground. And I'm going to find a halfway point. Let's just close our eyes, relax and breathe. Slowly begin to back our way out. We're going to lean to that left hip. Bring the right leg around in front. And we're going to try to double stack the shins, the feet with the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Let the hips settle here first. And then as you exhale, maybe start to hinge forward, taking your time, seeing what works today. One extra breath. And slowly rise up. When you rise up, that right leg is going to move to the side. And the left heel is going to pull in towards you. Your right hand will rest on the inside of that leg. The left arm will lift, and you're going to curve to create a side bend. Keep lifting and spreading the right toes. And see if you can roll open through the left side of your chest. Breathe into that left lung. Inhale, come up to the top. Exhale, release the hand, and you're going to take the right leg back behind you. Stand on your palms. We're going to do another vinyasa. So when you curl the back toes, step into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Into up dog. Out to downward facing dog. We'll take about 3 breaths here. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bring that chin to the front. Step or slide the left foot back. See if you can come down to the forearms, and you can always bring a bolster or blocks underneath as well. And then of course you can still lower or find a halfway point. This is Rajagopatasana. Next in breath, we'll slowly back away. We'll lean purposely to that right hip so the weight comes off the back leg, and we can bring it around in front to double stack. I meant to mention this, if this is too uncomfortable, just step the foot over. We'll lift up energetically at first. And again, just sit and breathe, let the hips settle here. And then attempt to fold. Inhale, we're slowly gonna come up. We'll take the left leg to the side, and then we'll drive that right heel closer in. Activate that left foot, reaching the right arm skyward, and then pouring that direction. And then noticing if that right arm gets a little sloppy, if it shields the face, or if you feel a little shrunk, in the midpoint of your chest. And if that's the case, all you have to do is roll open that right shoulder, roll open the right side of the chest. And then breathe better into the right lung. Inhale up to the top. And when you come up to the top, we're going to try a new, well, it's not new, it's an old pose. I just never teach it. I'm going to turn kind of catty corner. If you take your left, your left leg was just extended. If you bend that knee and if you pull that heel back alongside, and I'll turn this way so you can see it, where you're on the top of the foot and the heel's kind of beside your hip. Then this right foot is going to lift up onto the lap. Okay, if you can't do that, that's okay. You can just bring the foot down to the floor. Let's just see, let's just try it. And then we're gonna twist to the right. I'll turn this way so I don't confuse you anymore. I hardly ever teach this one. One, because it's got the half lotus. And two, I can't pronounce the Sanskrit for this pose. Exhale, unwind. All right. Now just let that right foot slide off. Lean to your right hip to free up your left foot. And then we'll try that. So slide your left foot in. Go ahead and have that kind of towards your inner right thigh. Lean to that hip so you can at least set this up properly. And then we'll slip up underneath that left foot. Is it possible to bring it to the lap? If not, just leave it on the floor. Lift up energetically, exhale, spin to your left. And notice with the positioning of the lower body, you're not going or expected to go as deep in the twist. That's okay. And then unwind. All right, so you can slip that down. We're going to come down to the back. When you come down to the back, we're going to come to bridge. So condition the feet down to the floor. We're going to keep the arms beside us today. And we're going to tuck the tailbone, lift thighs, hips, abdomen, chest. You can even rock the shoulders underneath the back. Continuing to keep the knees parallel. Letting the belly rise and fall as you breathe. And as you exhale, roll it down. Catch your knees with your hands. So I was going to invite us to go into shoulder stand. However, it's not great for me right now. So I'm going to use a wall to make it better for my neck. So Andy and Betsy, I know you know shoulder stand, but if you want to try it this way that I'm going to show you and you have wall space available, feel free to turn your mat. If not, just go into shoulder stand the regular way. If you by chance had a block, maybe you don't do shoulder stands. If you want the block under your sacrum in bridge and then just lift the legs to waterfall, you can do that. Now, the safer way for the neck and a more gentle way to do shoulder stand at the wall, if you want to watch me really quick, I'm just sitting the legs up the wall, right? We all know this pose. But basically, we would bend the knees just enough to flatten the feet, to tuck and lift the hips, and then I drop the shoulders under the body, and then you straighten your legs. So this doesn't have as much pressure or traction in the neck. Therefore, it can be safer. It's a more diagonal line. You're still getting the benefits of being inverted. Hold for like 10 or 11 breaths, if you can. They say 20 minutes of shoulder stand is equivalent to 2 hours of sleep. And it would be practically impossible to hold shoulder stand for 20 minutes unless you were doing it this way at the wall, which is also a good reason to learn this adaptation of it. Now, if you're at the wall, all you have to do is rebend the knees, flatten the feet, and scoop in through the bellies. You roll down one vertebra at a time. And if you're not at the wall, just come on down. If you are at the wall, stay legs up the wall. And if you had to come all the way down into corpse pose, that's okay as well. But we're ready for relaxation. So if the legs are up the wall, the feet can soften, your knees can relax, and just stay stationed on your back. If you did regular shoulder stand and you're lying in corpse pose, feel free to bring any props into play, maybe a pillow under the head or knees. Once you get settled, close your eyes. Letting your body take a rest. And allowing your mind to be at peace. We know if we were expressing ourselves at an individual level, and if we were really personalizing our practice, staying focused in each movement, it's easier to arrive into that state of relaxation. When the mind is so focused, it becomes calmer and clearer. And if you're finding that your mind is not quite calm or clear, then feel free to imagine, and you can even say internally, peace in, peace out. Breathing peace in, breathing and expressing peace out. Inhaling peace and exhaling peace. Breathing peace in, breathing peace out. If your legs are still up the wall, you can slide them down. If you're supine, then just hug your knees in. Sway gently side to side, landing to your favorite. Coming up to take a seat. Bringing your palms together to prayer position at your heart and bowing your head humbly. May we all celebrate the expression of the divine that we are. May we appreciate our differences and what makes us special, what makes us unique. And may we remember to express ourselves in our own unique way, even when we're doing poses. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thanks, you guys, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Robbie.
Yeah, you're welcome, Anne.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Bye, Betsy.
Bye-bye. Have a
I'm
good
glad
one.
you're joining me in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll see you then.
Okay.